we're in some very uncharted territory here. Walk us through this post-Roe era and the heightened risk of surveillance.
Thank you. Yes, we are not going back in time. We are going fast forward into uncertainty. And what we have already seen happen with digital evidence used against people who were pregnant and were charged with conduct related to the termination of their pregnancies is that that information was text messages, it was email receipts, it was search histories and websites visited. That's the information that already has been used in cases we've already examined coming in front of courts across the country.
How do you expect companies to handle this information? I mean, I wonder, is there going to be some sort of shadow economy or even a shadow society created as a result?
Absolutely. People will be pushed into shadow economies and pushed into places where they are experiencing a lot more vulnerability as a result of this decision.
So
And
what
as
is
a
the
result,
power that tech companies have here to do something about it, to take a stand one way or another?
tech companies could engage in a few different ways. They could, for example, collect less data. In addition to, I've heard a few tech companies speak to location data recently, but location data so far has not been used in criminal court against pregnant people. However, their search histories have, their websites tracked have. The other things that tech companies can do is become very prepared to go into court and actually push back against the requests that they get from law enforcement to share information about what websites people are looking up and what information they're searching for.
So you're talking about the biggest and most powerful companies in the world. So, for example, Senators Ron Wyden and Elizabeth Warren wrote a letter to the FTC asking them to investigate Apple and Google's role in all of this. What responsibility do you think these companies have?
The companies provide a very important service that allows people to access information about their healthcare. This is very simply a public health issue, much more than it is a technology issue. And the technology companies need to understand that the information they collect and store and the law enforcement agencies that they provide it to will in turn use it to criminalize the people that they are relying on to be their users and to be the people who will purchase information and commit to their advertisers. It's part of the ecosystem. And if they are disregarding the rights and welfare of the people that they are serving through the technologies that they provide, those people are going to be less and less able to participate.
Now, there are these big companies, that's one thing, but there's also a host of startups offering, women and family health care. And I wonder what you think the role is of those companies, less powerful, obviously less well-resourced, being put in a very difficult position where, in 24 to 25 states, this is all just totally fine, and in the rest of the country, it's not.
For smaller startups, I would say that they first should find out from the places that are already existing and have been serving the abortion access movement what the needs are for the questions that they're asking and for the types of services that they are considering making available. First, the people that are going to be using the service should be involved in designing it.
Now, what do you think about the role of these quote-unquote crisis pregnancy firms? Bloomberg has reported that these firms, which are encouraging women to not get abortion, are also scooping up data on women who are seeking abortion.
Yes, that's right. They are. The crisis pregnancy centers have been very deliberately, not just through in-person interviews collecting information about people, but simply through existing as a website collecting information about people that visit their websites in the same way.
So what's your advice to women right now about protecting their digital autonomy in this kind of messy middle where we are, where a lot of this has yet to be decided and this law was just overturned?
In the same way that we should not all be individually responsible for protecting ourselves against COVID, we should all not be individually responsible for securing all of our digital devices and having all the knowledge of what types of information is collected about us. But there are a few things that people can do. Secure your devices. Do not share your devices voluntarily with police officers, social workers, anyone at a hospital. Secure your communications. Make sure that you're using encrypted communication, even very casually, and that you have all of your contacts already imported. And secure your browsing. So use as your default browser the types of browsers that are not going to track you as you visit website to website.